Hi, all my crafting friends out there. Welcome to another Make It Monday. And I have a super cute project to share with you this evening. And it's something that when you look at it, it's not what you would expect. And I was sitting here looking at a set of dies, and I'm like, I see something different than what it was intended for. And so I wanted to share that with you. So we will switch the camera down, and I will show you what our project is for tonight. But if this is your first time joining me, my name is Lisa Fulford. I'm your creative coach, and I hope you enjoy your time here with me while we are making this card. So let's switch it around. All right, so here is the card that we're going to make this evening, and it's this really cute kind of scenic window, and then it's going to be from the Sophisticated SLED stamp set and dies. And so I was sitting here trying to make up my mind what I was going to make, and so when I was looking at this, I was seeing something different than the SLED just by looking at the dies. And so um, my daughter, she stepped in and she goes, I see a window. And I said, that's what I see. So we're going to use these two dies here, and therefore to make the window, and then the wreath dies, and then the little bluebird, or not bluebird, redbird dies, or die, and then this one for the greenery swag. And so, and then we'll use a few of the stamps like the bird and the wreath. So I'll grab those real quick. But it looks, it's a really fun little set. And so I like whenever I can stretch my stamps and my dies to get more out of it. And so yeah, I just thought I would share this, and I looked on Pinterest and different things to see if anybody else had seen what I was seeing, and I haven't seen anything yet, so I hope that this is something new that nobody else had thought about, and you'll see it here and you'll think, well, I'm going to try to make that. So we will get started with that. The main things that we have today to make this, of course, are the dies, and then we got a couple of the stamps. And so I'll grab this block right here, and then I'll grab the smaller one for this. And so those are our stamps there. We're going to bring in the inks that are Mossy Meadow, and we're going to bring in the Tuxedo Memento Black. Grab a few things here. Right, so we've got our Mossy Meadow cardstock for our base, and that is 8.5 by 5.5, so I'll put that piece right there. And then I have a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock, and this is, I've got my measurements here so that I get them right, 4 inches by 5.25. And then I do have a piece here of the it's basic white, and it is 3 3/4 by 5, and we use the embossing folder for it. That is the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. And so you would just put your piece of your basic white cardstock in here, and run it through our machine with the plate 1 and then the gray plate. I think it's number 4. And then this is the beautiful piece that you get out of that. So I'm going to put that there, but I wanted to show that it starts as a regular, just piece of regular white cardstock for that. And it's the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. So I really like that one. So I'll move that over here for now. Out of the way. I'll move this back over here, and this was just another piece of that. The other thing that we're going to use is another piece of a cherry cobbler for the inside. And this piece measures, let's see, 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So that's for the inside. I'll put that way. And then this piece here for the inside is the basic white, and it's 3 1/2 by 5 inches for the inside. Then we have some pieces of crumb cake to make the little window. And so with that, I have a piece of crumb cake here with our multi-purpose adhesive on the back of it. And then I also have, I had a piece that was just a regular piece without any adhesive on it, and I went ahead and did some of the die cutting. So all I did was take the outline of this one and cut it out. It almost kind of looks like a fire hydrant and different things. I see all kinds of things when I look at just the piece there. And then the Nest of Winter DSP. This has the birds on one side, but on the other side it kind of looks like snow. And so I went ahead and I cut that out with that as well. And I know we don't sell vellum anymore, but you could either use vellum that you already have, or you could use window sheets, because we do still sell those. And I cut out a third one of those with this same die. So basically we're going to layer some things up, and then we'll put the window with the window panes and different things on top of that. And so when you have that adhesive put on the back of it, then it makes this a sticker in itself. And so I took the Timber 3D embossing folder, and with this line right here where the Stampin' Up is, I took with the crumb cake, and this is crumb cake, and this is a size that is 3 by 4 1/4, and I had 2 of these so that I could cut out this one, and then this one will be the window pane. And so the one with the adhesive on the back of it, you would line it up with that black line with the wood grain kind of going up and down, and you'd run that through, and this is what you get from that. It has the adhesive on the back, and then it has the wood grain on the front. But this piece without the adhesive on the back is where I ran this through and got this piece. So I had 2 pieces of the crumb cake that were 3 inches by 4 1/4. So I hope that makes sense. And so I'll set that off to the side. And we'll be doing some die cutting with this because I didn't want to do all of it ahead of time. And so then, like I said, this is the paper that's from that Nest of Winter. And so it's, like I said, it has the birds on one side, and it has the, looks like snow on the other side. And I believe this might be, grab a ruler, maybe. Let's see. It is about, I think it's 2 5/8. So, and then I just have it big enough that I could probably get 2 more out of this strip, but it needed to be a certain width so that I could get this piece from it. And then of course the vellum's about the same width. And so I just layered them up together and ran it through at the same time for that. So there's that. And these are the that multi-purpose adhesive sheets. And so we sell them, and they come in like a 12-inch by 6-inch. And then you just peel the back off, and there's a sticky. Right here, there's a little peel. So this is sticky, this is non-sticky, and you put your cardstock on the sticky part, and then you peel this backing off your cardstock, but I'll show you that here shortly. And then that makes it a adhesive for you, like a sticker. So those are really cool, and I think a lot of people forget that we have those, especially when you're doing fine lines. And so when you cut this piece out, it is such a thin piece right here that it's really hard to get glue on that to adhere to your card. And so by putting it that adhesive on the back already. When we cut it out, it's like a sticker and it's easier to put on your layers. So I'll show that here shortly. I'll move this ruler out of the way. We might need that. And then, so we've already done the timber 3D embossing folder, the exposed brick 3D embossing folder, our ink and everything. So, oh, and then the other thing that we're going to need are, okay, so I have the light mossy meadow Stampin' blends, and then I have light cherry cobbler, and then I also have dark lemon lolly. And then this is a scrap piece of white, basic white, to do my stamping on and then cutting things out. And then to do these little embellishments on here, these little berries, then this is new, and it's the cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive backed berries. So we have that. And let's see. Oh, the last thing is the gold and silver 1/8 inch trim combo pack. And so this is what I use to tie my bow. And I've already done that ahead of time. So there's that. And there's my bow. And so we will do some stamping and different things. And then we'll do some die cutting. And then we'll put our card together. So we'll stack these up right here first. And we want to do the stamping first to make certain it has a chance to dry. All right. So I'm going to grab a little... it can be a bluebird, it can be a cardinal. I'm going to make mine a cardinal. I think it's more a cardinal than anything, but it could be a bluebird if you wanted to color it that way. But I wanted mine to be a cardinal, and I'm going to stamp that right there. That looks pretty good. I'm going to stamp another one just in case. That one looks a little bit better. And then I have my chamois here, and I've cut it into fourths just so it's easier on my desk. Clean that up, move it off to the side, and put my chamois back away for now. It stays moist for, all day that way. We'll close this ink up. I do believe right now we are finished with that, but we may not be finished completely. Open up my mossy meadow, and I'm going to ink up my wreath because I'm going to do this a little bit different. So I'm going to stamp that in mossy meadow, so it's a little bit darker. Then I'm going to show you how you get the two-toned. But you want to be careful when you're doing this technique because you don't want it to the colors to bleed. So move these off to the side just a little bit. I'll go ahead and close this. I might still use that for my sentiment for the inside or stamping something for the inside. All right, so I'm going to start with my light mossy meadow, and I'm just going to take and just brush lightly these leaves, all the little leaves. And so I will show you, hope that can focus in on it, that this is darker, and then inside there is a little bit lighter, so you get a two-toned effect by stamping with the same color and then using the light color of the Stampin' blend. And so that's really fun that you can get the most out of your inks and your stamping blends just by, instead of using black. I could have used black, but I think this makes it more cohesive. And so I've been utilizing, using the background color to add to my image. And so I think using the mossy meadow does indeed adds to the look of the wreath rather than doing the black. So I hope that you've tried that technique. I haven't seen it done very much that way, but I thought, well, I'm going to try it for this wreath because I thought it really added something to it by doing that way. I've tried it with the black, and honestly, I really like it better stamping it with the mossy meadow and then also using that same blend, like I said, in the lighter color. And you don't have to be perfect when you're doing this. Just, you don't want to go way out of the lines, but you're going to cut it out anyway and then go from there. So I just did all the leaves, and I want to close this up so it doesn't dry out. And then I'm going to come back with the cherry cobbler, and I'm using the light for this also. And I'm going to add, I'm just going to dot in some color in those berries, and it really makes them pop up against that green. And even though it's, you don't want to brush too hard, because you can make the stamped image run, like make it smear. But if you just, like I'm just tapping the tip of my brush, you can use the small end if you want. I like the brush because I feel like I got more control. So that's finished, and we need that to dry. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paint my little cardinal with my Stampin' blends, and I'm using that light cherry cobbler again. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in that dark lemon lolly, and I'm going to tap that on his nose for his beak there, so that makes it stand out a little bit. So then we would take our die cuts and line those up, and then take this, and so there is a point right here, and there's a point, so you want to kind of just lay that down, just turn it a little bit until it all lines up. And then when you run it through the die cut, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, this is what you get. That gives it a nice little outline. And then there's our cardinal. So I will cut these out later for another card, one of these cards. But I just want to show how you can do the two tones with the same color, and then color in our little cardinal. So I'll set this off to the side with those dies. I'll die cut that later. So I have those items. And then with our Mossy Meadow on the cardstock, you just would lay that on there, run it through. And I ran it through twice. And then these are the bits that you get from this die cut. And they stay connected. So I have 1 and 2 of those. So that is the part of everything that I have already done. And so I still have these things to cut. So I'm going to set this off to the side here just for a moment. And bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Grab my plates. All right, I'm going to work from here back this way a little bit, so maybe it's easier to see. So I'm going to put down my plate 1, my plate 2, and one of my clear plates. Now, this is well loved, and it looks kind of cruddy, but what I did was I put some Dawn soap on there in a brush and kind of really scrubbed it down and got most of the paper and different things out of that. This is stained, and so it's been cutting a lot better now that I got all the paper out of it. And I'll tell you what, the water that when I was scrubbing that, it came off so dirty. You wouldn't think that cardstock and all that could be dirty, but I guess from our hands, the oils from our hands, and just handling it all the time, it made a lot of dirt and grime. I don't know. So on this, I'm going to put down this piece, and it's just big enough for the whole thing. Okay. Then we're going to take this, another piece of tape here, and we're going to put that down, and we're going to try to line this up the best that we can to give it a small border, but not too much of a border. So I'm trying to see if in the camera if that looks okay. Need to move this just a little bit so I can see it. So I'm seeing it on my screen rather than right here in front of me because it's there. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna put that down, this one down. Okay. Then I want to bring in my other plate, and this is a green plate. They come with 2 clear plates, but when I have classes, they have a tendency to cut on the top plate. So I have a green one specifically so they know this is a top plate and not one to cut on. So we're going to run this through. And before it pops all the way through, I'm going to go back. And that way, hopefully it cut through everything. Take a look and make certain. Yes, it did. So there we go. Move this out of the way again. Set this over here. Get our plates. I think that might be everything. So I just want to show that part of it. All right, so I'll take this paper. This is just mint tape. It's like Post-it tape. You can use Post-it tape. You can use mint tape. I think there's a purple tape, and it just, I think, depends on like the stickiness of it. And then you can use a regular Post-it note. You can use washi tape, but I have some of that, so that's what I was using that for. So this is just a piece of scrap. And then each one of these, we just pop those out. You might can find a use for them. I have not found one yet, but they've got the sticker on the back already, so you might find something to do with those. I just didn't want to think about that right now. So then we have the outline, and then we have this piece, and this piece is what looks like the window panes and things like that. So, all right, so we will bring this in and we'll start making our layers, and then we'll put our card together. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add glue, and I have this little jack-o'-lantern that holds my bottle of liquid glue. And so I'm going to, I'm going to add that glue to my cardstock layer. Okay. And then I'm going to add this piece to the front. I just want to stand it up together. Kind of like that, and you just want to layer it. Whoops, it slid on me. That's all right. So hold that for a moment. All right, so then, hands are sticky now. I want to take a glue dot. I'm going to add a glue dot on the back of this, right here. And then on the back of this other little tab sticking out, right there. And then right here, kind of somewhere here in the middle. And then on these bottom tabs at the bottom. So I'm going to put one right there. And then one right here. And so you can see them on this side, on those 2 tabs. And I kind of put one about where I thought the wreath might cover. All right. So now I'm going to remove that, and we're going to add it. We're going to layer it on this. And what it does is it mutes down my that DSP under it. But if you have a window sheet, that would be just fine. It's just I had some of my vellum left, and so I wanted to use it, but you can still like purchase it in stores. We just don't, I can't find where we sell it anymore, so I think it did retire. All right, so now we're going to take this piece and I'm going to grab, I took my Take Your Pick tool to a team meeting and we did shoebox swaps. And so I have not unpacked that yet. So I've got this little piercing tool here. So we're going to get that started. We're going to just peel that off, that backing off. And then we're going to add that. Start down here with the tabs. Okay. And we're going to slowly, because once this sticks, it is stuck. Add that on there like that. So far, that's what we have. So we have a cardstock layer, a DSP layer, a vellum layer, and then now we have this. And I want to make certain it's good and stuck all the way around. So like that. Now this one, we're going to have to take this backing off again. And taking the backing off is a lot easier than trying to put glue on this. Just take my piercing tool here. Pull that and peel that off again. Throw that away. We're going to take this and we're going to start putting that so it automatically those go down in those little holes. Just lay it in gently like that. And that is how we make the little window for our card. So grab my card base, we'll set that off to the side. And we're going to fold this. If you always want the bump inside, if you can. And then had a, there's my bone folder. Bone folder, and we're going to crease that. I want it to lay nicely. Put that away for now. And then take these and we're going to layer those together. You could use whatever adhesive you want. I think this is a 3D embossing folder. This is the raised up and this is the debossed. And so I'm going to add to the debossed side. You could do whichever side that you want, that you find to be appealing. And I'm putting a pretty heavy amount of glue on that because you want it to adhere well. So, because this is so embossed and it's the 3D, you don't have much surface area because some of it is raised up. So I'm just going to add that right here, and I'm trying to center it the best that I can, like that. I really like this exposed brick. Okay, so like that. Hold that for a few moments so that it'll get nice and adhered. Then we want to bring in some Stampin' Dimensionals. Alright, so I'm going to use these. On that side there. Grab some of these. It's used up. Now peel these off. When you have a long strip like that, it's real easy to remove your backings because it's just one pull. Alright, so I'm going to line that up. I did the white to the cherry cobbler. We're going to put that on the front of our mossy meadow. Now, I think before we do the inside, I want to stamp. Oh, it's in my thing there. I want to stamp on it for the inside. So I think I'm going to put a little bird. I'll take what? I'm going to take this wreath. This is on the fly because I didn't do one for the inside yet. And I thought, well, I'll add to the inside of this one. When I design a card, I usually do the outside, and then I usually come up with something for the inside on the fly. And so that's what I'm doing tonight. It's just kind of, I do try to add stuff to the inside, but it doesn't always work that way. So I'm just going to take, and I'm going to ink up a little bit of that wreath. I'll put it down here at the bottom because I want some of the berries and different things. Just a little bit. Clean that up. Then I want to ink up my bird. Oops. And I'm going to sit him right here on that, like that. I could have die cut that and put it on there, and I might still do that. But so we're going to color this really quick. Just going to tap some color into those leaves, kind of make it tie in with the front of the card. I'm going to make it where the tail feathers go over the mossy metal leaf instead of coloring it green. Okay, so there's that. Let's grab this and we will tap that into those berries. Kind of like that. I'm going to do the tail feathers and the body. I mean, you don't have to add a lot for your inside. Just add a little bit of something so that, and we do not have a sentiment on the front, and I will probably wait to put a sentiment on the inside until I decide who I'm going to give it to. This could be a Christmas card, this could be a thinking of you card, because just because it has the wreath and things does not mean it has to be Christmas. And so there's our inside piece. So I'm going to add that to this. Better close this lid or this ink because I will stick my hand in it and I will have ink on everything. All right, so I'm going to add this to this piece for the inside. That. Like that. Well, I hope you're enjoying this. If you're not here for the live, hopefully you'll catch the replay. I'll be adding it to, I'll try to upload it to YouTube either this evening or tomorrow. So this is Monday, so hopefully Tuesday. And then tomorrow I have a Technique Tuesday. I haven't decided if I'll go live with it or if I'll just put it on YouTube or what, but so that's the inside of our card. Here's the outside so far. So we will start putting it all together. So for this, I want to put dimensionals on the back. Okay, so I'm going to put little ones down here. Little ones on those little tabs out there. That. And we're going to bring in the larger ones, because we want it, we're going to a raised up embossing folder piece of cardstock, so you want to make certain that they are well adhered, okay? And so extra Stampin' Dimensionals on here just for that purpose, because we're going to add it to the embossed layer. So I get that. Go to the next one. Come back to that one. Take that one off there. Got it. Take it off my hand if I can't get it with my thing. So then we want to come in here and we want to kind of center it. You can go up a little bit, things the greenery is going to hang down. I'm trying to look at this and look at that and try to, so I'm going to press that in. I want to make certain it is well stuck. Okay. And then with these, all I did was use glue dots. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. So I took, this is the front and the back is more smooth. And I'm going to pick up a glue dot here. I don't want to tear it, so be careful. And I'm going to pick one up over here. I want to add it. I'm going to go off to the right just a little bit with this. You'll see why here in just a moment. Put that down. And I'll take this next one and I'll do the same thing. I'm going to put it off to the side here. Now with this one, I'm trying to get a little bit more behind one of the larger leaves if I can, or group of leaves. Pick that up. And with this one, I'm going to put it a little bit more towards the right because I'm trying to fill in the greenery like that. And then with him, I just put, I think I did a glue dot. I was thinking that I did a dimensional, but I think I just did a glue dot on the top and bottom of him. So I'm going to add that here. And add another one down at the bottom because this is little pieces. So there's not a solid surface. Add him down there. That looks cute in itself. So then we're going to take the wreath and we're going to add a few dimensionals to the back of it. So I'm looking to see where I'm going to place that. So I know I want dimensionals here, 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 and then right down there. So I'm going to use, so up here I'm going to use a full one. I do believe it'll work. A full one right there. I think I'll put a full one down here. And I just keep checking. If I need to move it, I can. And let's see, I'm going to put them on each one of these tabs here. So you just keep checking to see where it is that you need your dimensionals. Okay, so we'll do that. And then we'll take these backings off like that. And we're going to add our wreath on. And hopefully we hit all of them. There we go. And mine is kind of more elongated this way. You can move it however you want, but I want it to cover most of this. Okay. And then my bow, I'm going to put it on with the little glue dots here. Up. Pick up another one, kind of roll it up like that. Put it right up here. I'm going to put that bow right over that glue dot and pull it out. That way, the bow is on there. So far, this is where we're at. Then we're going to add a little bit more to do some more embellishing on this. So we'll take these and we'll just slide these out. we're going to take these little 3 berries, and where there's 3, we're going to just cover those up like that. I'm going to do the 3 over here, and they stay together pretty well. They've been clumped together, so we're just going to cover those. More. We're going to do that up here. Lift that little bow part up. Put the berries there. And then over here, I'm just going to do 1. So right there. You won't be able to tell that that's not a 3 one. I mean, underneath the bow it is, but we're not going to show that. So now that's the card, but I'm going to zhuzh it up. I think that's what everybody's been calling it. And I have, this is Winkastella. See the shimmer right there in it? So that's Winkastella inside there. And then it's alcohol, and you put a few drops of your Winkastella. So I open this up, open this, drop a few drops of, I think about 6 maybe drops of Winkastella. Then I fill it up to about right here with alcohol, because you have to have room for the little plunger to go in. Tighten it down, and then you shake it. Okay? So I'm going to spritz it, and I don't know if the light will catch. See all the shimmer, especially like here on the window? Kind of looks like it's frosted. I don't know if it's really, I can see it on my screen, but I don't know if you can on yours. But it really adds some shimmer to it, and like on the edge of the cardstock, you see that glitter on there. But once it's on there, it does not wear off. So that's what I like about this. So shake this up, hold it about, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches away, and spritz it a few times. Now then, the window sheet gets the alcohol on there, and it does take it a little bit longer, and so to dry. But if you don't want to wait for that, you can grab a tissue and blot that dry, and then, let's see, here it's dry, see, but right here, see how wet that vellum is, and so that's added all that shimmer to it. You can see it on here now when it's wet. It shows up a lot better when it is wet. You can see it in person here. So what you can do, let me grab a quick tissue here. And you just blot where the vellum is. And if it's a window sheet or what have you. And then that is how we make a window pane card out of our sophisticated SLED bundle. So we use some of the stamps for the wreath and for the cardinal and for the inside. And then I will probably use the sentiments in the stamp set. Let's see where that went. I did think about putting a Let It Snow. If you want to put a banner on there, you can. I just didn't want to draw away from the, I think this is gorgeous. I mean, it was so fun to make, and I like the way that it looked without a sentiment on the front. But depending on what I'm going to use it for will depend on what kind of sentiment. I could always add one if I wanted to. And then on the inside, I could do, let's decorate the season with happiness, or, you know, hope your days are filled with fun and laughter. So I could do, you know, any of the sentiments that are in here on the inside, but I like to wait and see who I'm going to give the card to so that I can match the sentiment to the personality of the person I'm giving it to. And so I hope that you will give this one a try. I love it. I think it's so cute, and just a new take on the die cuts that come in this bundle. And like I said I was just looking at it. I'm like, that looks like a window to me. I mean, I knew it was a sled. As long as I wasn't looking at the stamp set, I could see the window pane in the die cut. So I don't know if when other people are creating, if that is, how they work also, but it just, I like when those happy little accidents happen and you can create something different than what it was intended for. So I want to thank everyone for joining me for my Make It Monday, whether it's live or on the replay or on YouTube. And hopefully you will join me for some of my other videos. And if this is your first time here, welcome. And hopefully you will give this video, if you like this card, a thumbs up. And I invite you to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all the support that I can get to grow my channel and to bring you these fun greeting cards and different projects. So have a wonderful evening and happy stamping.